2016 GOP presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson creating a controversy today. Dr. Carson in a recent political podcast saying President Obama was raised white. 2016 GOP presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson goes on the record from Las Vegas. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Greta.
Dr. Carson, nice to see you, and I'm sure you've seen the controversy about your remarks about President Obama being raised white. Can you explain that?
Very easily. First of all, you know, it tells you that some people are incredibly sensitive to any racial issue. I basically made the statement that the way that he was brought out is not typical of the black experience in America. He was raised in Hawaii by two white grandparents, spent his formative years with his white mother in Indonesia, went to private schools. I mean, it really is not a typical black experience. That's what I was saying. Now, you know, the other media tried to take that and say that I was saying that there's something wrong with anybody who isn't brought up black and that racism is rampant and that it's causing problems. These are all their interpretations. This is the narrative they want to present. And it's so typical. I would think people would be tired of it by now.
All right, the dirty tricks allegation, and I know that in Iowa what happened to you is, I mean, look, you know, that was rotten what happened in Iowa with your campaign. I agree with you on that. Do you anticipate any sort of dirty tricks tonight in Nevada towards you or towards anybody else?
I'm not anticipating them. Are we going to be vigilant? Of course we will be. But, you know, I'm hopeful that we will get to a point in the very near future where we actually start talking about the issues, because there are such big issues and they really threaten the future of our country. And I really feel bad for our young people because they're not getting any attention. We're spending all of our time talking about, you know, silly things.
Is that our fault, the media? I mean, because look, you know, we start out right away. I asked you the first questions about the remark that's caught everybody's attention about President Obama. And then I ask you about dirty tricks. So do you lay that blame on us that we're not talking more about the issues?
Well, particularly, you know, when you go to the debates, what do they talk about? He said this about you. He said this about your mama. You know, I mean, give me a break. Let's, you know, I mean, when we're talking about, most Americans don't even know what the fiscal gap is and what the implications are in terms of our financial foundation. And when you're talking about education, you know, 17 to 24-year-olds who apply for the voluntary military service, 71% of them are rejected for physical, mental, or educational reasons, the vast majority being educational reasons. This is a national crisis. It affects our security. These are the kind of issues we need to be talking about.
When you go out in Nevada, when you talk to people at rallies or when you meet them on the street, what's the issue that they ask you about most?
I think the issue that they most want to know about is what's going to happen to our children because we're being so incredibly irresponsible. And then I get a lot of people who want to know about immigration policy and quite a few who want to know about the Bureau of Land Management and the fact that our federal government owns 87% of the land here in Nevada, which makes no sense whatsoever.
You know, it's fascinating. The country's so big because those weren't the questions you probably asked in, at least about land in New Hampshire or South Carolina. It's a big country, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, people always say, well, what's different about the voter in this state or the voter in that state? And, you know, the fact of the matter is, one of the blessings of our nation is you can be in Maine, you can be in New Mexico. You know, we have basically the same culture. There may be some different issues. You know, you got Yucca Mountain. Yucca Mountain here in Nevada, most states probably don't even know what that is. So every state's going to have their particular issues, but we do have a united culture, and we're going to have to start concentrating on unity in this country once again, not let the purveyors of division who gain their power by strife and division continue to prevail.
Dr. Carson, good luck tonight, as I say to all the candidates. We'll be watching, and thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you so much, Greta.